Greetings one and all, welcome back to my kitchen here today, where I'm going to be making something a bit special, I reckon. Well, it's a bit special for me. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you might have picked up I hung out in Fiji for a couple of years, living and working, and one of my favourite snacks there was a snack called Saina, and even though I loved it, I didn't really know what was in it, what it was made of. I just knew it was a tasty little sort of street snack you could buy. But anyway, I found out how to make it, so I'm going to try and make some here for you today in my home kitchen in Australia. So the first thing I've got here is a cup of yellow dal, yellow lentils that I've just been soaking, and I soaked those overnight. I don't know if that's overkill, probably a couple of hours would do. And to that I'm just going to add a couple of green chilies that I've just sliced up, about 4 cloves of garlic, and I've just got a medium-sized knob of ginger that I've just sort of sliced up because we're going to be obviously whizzing that up. Now I'm probably going to have to add some water to that as well. We'll just see how we go to start with. Yeah, we'll add a bit of water as predicted. Alrighty guys, so I've just got a bowl here. I'm going to transfer that mixture into that bowl. So yeah, it is quite wet now. Far too wet for how we want it, how we want to use it. Whack that in. Alright, just a few spices. So I've got 2 teaspoons of garam masala. I've got a teaspoon of ground cumin, and I've got about a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, ground turmeric. I'm going to add a good hit of salt to that. And the next thing we've got here is besan or chickpea flour. Now I've got 1/2 cup here. I don't know if I'm going to need all that. I'm just going to add it, maybe about 2/3 of that to start with. And I might need more, I don't know yet. So I'm just going to mix it up straight away. We're going to need at least the rest of that. So that's 1/2 cup gone in. Yeah, I still want it a little bit thicker than that. I'll get a little bit more. Just a little bit, little by little. It kind of depends how much water you put in to that blender. Maybe I'll put a little bit too much, but I want it nice and mixed up. So. And that's kind of what we're aiming for. Alrighty guys, so yeah, like I say, I've got that paste ready to go. And the next thing I've been doing is preparing my leaves for my Saina. Now in Fiji, they would use taro leaves. As I mentioned, I'm here in Australia and I can't get access to fresh taro leaves where I live. So what I'm going to use as a substitute, and I hope it works, is I've got some Chinese sanshui here, and I brought these in bunches, and all I've been doing with them, as you can see with this one still got its stalk on it, is basically just yeah, just sort of cutting it across about here, and I'm discarding this stalky bit and just keeping the leaf like so. And if it's a little bit, still a little bit of thick stalk on it, I just sort of trim it up a little bit. Most of them don't need the trimming, but Yeah, like that one was a little bit thick. So yeah, that's where I'm up to. Alrighty guys, so I've just cleared a little bit of space here to assemble my Sainas. Now what I want to do, first thing I've done is I've just put down some cling film, some plastic wrap, and that's purely because I'm using these leaves, they're a little bit smaller than taro leaves, so that's just going to aid me to when I roll these up. And what we want to do is just get a layer of them and sort of overlap them a bit, like so. And I've got the stalky a bit that way and the stalky a bit this way. Now this first layer, try and use some of the bigger leaves. Yeah, like so. Alright, layer one. So now I'll get my paste. Dab some on. And we're just going to smear that all over. And try and get it right up to all the edges. Alright, we'll keep building it up with some more leaves. This time we're going to go crossways with our leaves. Alrighty guys, now I'm going to attempt to roll this up, and we want to get it reasonably tight if we can, as tight as we can. So I'm just going to flip her over. I'm going to use the wrap to help a little bit. Now don't panic if bits of paste and all that sort of come out, all those little holes in it. That's all going to be come out in the wash. Just try and be reasonably neat, of course, but yeah, don't panic about it too much. And so far so good. Alright, so I'll just cinch up these ends. As you saw, I sort of had to double wrap that to get it into a bit of a tight cylinder. And we'll cinch up the ends, like I just said, repeating myself because I'm concentrating what I'm doing. Alright, like I say, don't worry about it spitting out the back a bit, that's fine. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my pot of water on and get my steamer out, and we're going to steam this. Alrighty, like I say, I'm just getting my steamer set up here. So I've got my Saina inside my bamboo steamer. We'll just get it on, line it up so it's nice and even. And it just fit in. That was a bit more arse than class. And get the lid on that. Now I'm going to leave that probably for about 15 minutes on that side. Then I'm going to flip it over, and I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes each side. Then I'm going to turn the heat off, let this cool down to room temperature, and then I'm actually going to whack it in the fridge for maybe an hour or so. Alrighty guys, so here we are a couple of hours later. I've just got my Saina roll out of the fridge, which I just had in there for an hour or so. It still feels like it's pretty soft, but we'll see how we go. Just going to unwrap it. Alrighty, now what we want to do is just cut it into slices. So we want a fairly sharp knife. Yeah, because it's still sort of fairly soft, you just got to be a little bit careful with it. Like so, and that's sort of what we're after, like a bit of a pattern like that. That's sort of typical of Saina. And yeah, cut them as thick as you want. Like I'm cutting mine, I don't know exactly what the measurement is, but it's probably around an inch or so, inch and a half, something like that. Anyway, I'll get on with that and I'll get back to you. Alrighty guys, so I've got my Sainas here ready to cook. Now, mostly these are deep fried, so I mean basically what I'm going to do here is deep fry them, but I have just got oil in a shallow fry pan, but I've got a lot of it, so I will have to turn it. So I'm just going to play it by ear, but I'm thinking it won't take too long. They're already cooked, bear in mind they're already cooked in that steamer, but you just want to get them nice and sort of charred up now in the deep fryer. So let's see how we go. And I've only got my small fry pan too, so I'm only going to do maybe 4 at a time. Alrighty guys, so yeah, I've cooked up my Saina now, ready to taste it, or as I said, it's also called Saina or Patra. And yeah, big thanks to my research team for finding those other names, aka Google. So let's let's taste one. So as you can see, they get sort of really nice and crispy on the outside, those leaves, but it's all about the overall mouthfeel. I mean, I don't know, the jury's out whether that's a nice looking thing or not. Like I said, I ate them for years and I didn't even, oh not years, a year and a half. And I never knew what it actually was, but anyway, let's taste it. That is yummy. Wow, that actually worked with those different leaves. They taste exactly the same and they taste delicious. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it. Subscriptions are creeping along at a glacial pace, as I always say, and that's great. But yeah, if you want to jump on board this train and see where we're going with this channel, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscription button and also the little notification bell. But if you don't want to, no worries. And I will see you all next time.